Welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, June 21st, 2016, it was news that the Republican Party was blocking the proposed change to the $20 bill, replacing Andrew Jackson with Harriet Tubman, the leader of the Underground Railroad. So I want to go back and show you what I documented on this story the day the news broke. Change for a 20. This story came out April 20th, which is typically the 110th day of the year. This is interesting because the word president in gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, equals 110. On the money are presidents, the faces of dead presidents. Harriet Tubman would have been the first non-president to go on the paper money. What CNN used for its headline, Change for a 20, that has gematria of 77. And the connection is the Bank of United States. The Bank of United States was the central bank that Andrew Jackson fought against, was opposed to. Andrew Jackson said the central bank would mean slavery for everyone in the country. So it's kind of, ironic that Andrew Jackson is on the money because it's printed by the central bank of our time, the Federal Reserve. And Andrew Jackson was opposed to a central bank. So for his face to be on the money of something printed by a central bank, that's something that would make somebody roll over in their grave, right? And with regards to money, central bank, slavery, Andrew Jackson said the central bank would be the slavery of the masses. Here you have Harriet Tubman, who helped free the slaves. So you see the subtle jokes in here, the purposeful ironies. With regards to the headlines syncing up with Bank of the United States, Bank of the United States also has simple English gematria of 239. Right now, the United States is 239 years old at the time of this proposed change. Now, this political argument. 239 is very special to the Jewish people. Torah equals 239. Golden Gate equals 239, an important concept in the Jewish faith. They believe the Messiah will return through the Golden Gate. Think about this nation, 239 years old. Architecture of the Golden Gate Bridge. There's a reason this story is rolling out this year. Andrew Jackson fought this bank. Now his face being taken off the money potentially in the year. So they're going to put her on the 20. The word 20 and the word dollar both have gematria of 26. The God number, the English alphabet, 26 letters. Special number in this study of numbers into words. Watch my how-to gematria video if you have not. The name Harriet Tubman, interesting name. Harriet, 79 gematria, the 22nd prime. She was born in 1822, supposedly. Tubman has gematria of 71, like African American, also like Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve equals 71. It will be the Federal Reserve putting her face on the 20 if it's to happen. Harriet has gematria of 43, like Civil War, like Charleston, where the Civil War began. Harriet Tubman also sums to 60, like the most hateful word for black Americans. The date she was born in history, a date with 26 numerology, like dollar, like 20. Also a date with 27 numerology, like money. Harriet Tubman died in history on the 69th day of the year, March 10th. Her birthday, not known, not recorded. But with regards to her dying on the 69th day of the year, $20 bill has gematria of 69. This is how our entire history has been created, by the numbers. It's amazing when you look at it all. Andrew Jackson was born March 15th, 1767. A date with 102 numerology. That's interesting because United States of America equals 102. Slavery equals 102. The Civil War began April 12th, the 102nd day of the year. Lincoln died on a date with 102 numerology, the Civil War president. Civil War, slavery, Harriet Tubman, money, central banking. being enslaved to a system from birth. If you don't recognize that's what money is, think about it. You know, money was created to control us. We're born into a world where we need money to survive. And from birth to death, we're put on a conveyor belt where money is central to all of our lives. The date Jackson died was a date with 77 numerology connected to the bank, the headline. Died on a date with 59 numerology as well, connected to slave, kill. So anyway, it was looking like Harriet Tubman was going to be on the 20. My little nephew, to finish his academic school year, he did a report on Harriet Tubman on the 20. He's just 7 years old. You should have seen this report he did. He blew me away. I was like, wow, this kid is really bright. But anyway, I'm thinking how he just closed his year out with that. Now he might even be seeing these headlines. He was all excited about Harriet Tubman on the 20. Now the Republicans, they say it's too expensive to put Harriet Tubman's face on the 20. He wants to block it to save the taxpayers' money. You know, the Republican Party, they crack me up. They want to spend all this money on war and military and security and spying on us, all these things that make the world worse. And, you know, really at the end of the day, who cares what whose face is on the money? But to say that you're so interested in saving the taxpayers' money when it's an issue like this, when you know damn well this guy's a war hawk, votes for everything that's wrong in this world, all these people are really just puppets. They're just playing their role. The whole agenda is about divide and conquer, piss people off, provoke them. This is all factoring into the contrived race war going on with all these racial headlines, white cops shooting young black teenagers. All of this is part of the medley the media gives us to work us up, to piss us off. So, from the date the announcement was made, April 20th, the 110th day of the year, connecting to president, to the date of the announcement that the Republicans are trying to block it, is 62 days later, or a total span of 63 days. 62 days later is interesting because dollar equals 62. We're talking about the $20 bill. 63 is interesting because the date of the block was a date with 63 numerology. If you add every number up to 63, it sums to 2016 like the year. It was also a date with 43 numerology like Harriet for Harriet Tubman, like Civil War like Charleston, you know, divide and conquer, Civil War. This is how the headlines roll out. This is how Congress rolls. This is the kind of nation we live in. Scripted, planned, and all meant to provoke and continuously divide so that we fight amongst ourselves over nothing, you know? And the name of the congressman, of course, was Steve King. I mean, just like the author of the horror novels, you know? His books will give you nightmares. So will following Congress in the nightly news. So that's pretty much it, Truth Seeker. You know, recognize what's going on, recognize what they're trying to do, recognize what all these headlines and stories are about. It was a sick joke in the first place to put Harriet Tubman on the 20. Andrew Jackson not being on there is a sick joke. It's just what it is in this nation. One sick joke after the next because the tyrants who rule over us, they hate us, they mock us, they have nothing but spite for us. That's why they need to be taken out of power. And that day is only going to come when enough people wake up to what's really going on in this world. Till next time, Truth Seeker.